Okay, I think we shall start the session now. Thank you so much for waiting. So this is the first session. So normally we always have the first session to introduce what's PT so that you all know what you are getting yourself into. So before I start, I'd like to give a brief introduction about myself. So my name is Kelly. I study in University of Melbourne and I love Melbourne. I always wanted to migrate to Australia. That's why I decided to start my PT journey. Before I start my PT journey, I started my journey from IELTS. Trying IELTS million times, I can even score 9 in terms of reading, listening, but always never the writing. So that's why I switched from IELTS to PT. So the first time when I took my PT, right, I had the shock of my life. And then I switched from PT to IELTS again, and then like a vicious cycle. And finally, I cannot score 4.8 in my IELTS, but I managed to score 490 in PT. So that's a little bit about my history. And also I did NATI. Now it's called CCL. It will grant you another 5 additional points for the PR application. And also I love languages. So from time to time, I pick up new languages. So last time I used to learn Deutsch. Now I'm picking up Japanese so that I can understand our students better. Hmm. And yeah, so since this is an online session, it'd be great if you can switch on your video. But if you can't switch on your video, it's fine as well. Try to give me some response because this is rather than a teacher and students kind of setting, right? This is more like a sharing session. So maybe we just go a quick round and maybe can I get your name and also let me know, have you taken PT or IELTS before and why are you taking PT? So can I have the lucky number one? Ali. Hello, good evening, Ali. Have you done PT before and why are you taking PTE?
Hi, I'm Arlie. Can you hear me?
Yes, very clearly.
Okay. So I'm a Filipino expat working as an IT engineer in Malaysia, and I've decided to take a chance on applying the PR
Yeah.
for Australia. And as PTS goes, this is my first time encountering PTE, to be honest. My friends took IELTS, and I heard from the Austral agency that PTE is much relatively easier, or not that easier. I mean, comparing to IELTS. So they recommended me to take PTE. So I started reading and some watching YouTube videos about PTE, but up to now, I'm still learning what PTE is. What's the best preparation do I need, and how the exam goes.
Yeah,
Yep.
sure, no problem. Yeah, definitely. It's good. Normally for the first timer, right? It's always like we always say that beginners, you have beginners luck. But I would say to be honest, it's not so much of beginners because it's always good that you learn something from scratch. Or else, right, your mind will get polluted. But the online say this one, but this website say this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, your
yeah, correct, exactly.
every
So
website telling
too many
different.
things, too many
Yeah,
things. Yep.
definitely. There are a lot of information, and even like during my time, the first step of preparation would be like YouTubing here, online resource. But it's okay. That's why actually with this session, right, we especially organize this session for our partners client. Like for example, Astro. So it's our value added service to our client so that you all know what is PT and how to prepare. So after this session, whether you want to book straight for the PT exam or want to take a PT preparation course, it's up to you. But we want to let you all know, have an informed decision. What's IELTS, what's PT, what to take notes on PT, this and that. Thank you
Yep.
very much, Ali.
Thanks. Yep.
Okay, let's have maybe Iris. Have you done IELTS or PT before?
Hi, I'm Iris. I no, I haven't took any exam before.
This would be our first. Okay, sure, no problem. Then it's good. Like then this will be something new for you.
Yeah.
Okay, it always good. And are you doing this for migration purposes?
Yes, correct. Migration
Mm,
purpose.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Alright.
Yeah, and how about Thierry? Hi, Thierry, right?
Yes, I'm Terry.
Mm-hmm. Are you doing this for migration or study
Uh,
purpose?
for migration purposes.
Migration. Have you done IELTS or PT before?
No.
This will be no. That's good. And yeah, thank you very much for sharing. And yeah, I have a user here. Mano, are you Clive or? Mano, what's your name? Okay, sure, no problem. I think it's Clive. Okay, sure. Then I think today I'm gonna share my screen with y'all. If you have any questions, right, just stop me and then we'll. Mm. Okay, just give me a second. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen now. If you cannot see my screen, let me know. Mm. Okay, so today all of you are doing this for migration purposes and it's new to PTE. So just give me a quick brief about what's PTE, what's IELTS. Again, this is me. Okay, so actually our office right nowadays, most of our sessions will be online. But if you want to see us face to face, you can always find us in office, Bandar Puteri Puchong. So there's no way for us to run away from our students because we've been there since 7 years ago. And also, it doesn't matter where you are, whether you are from Australia, from China, from Africa, we can do online sessions very effectively. Okay, so for now, the first questions, before you take PTR exam, right, I always want to brief this one. So for those, if you're already aware about this, please bear with me because this is the first session. We always want you all to have a in-depth understanding about IELTS and PT so that you won't repeat the vicious cycle like I did last time. So nowadays, right, up to 80%, I'll say 90% of the PR applicant, they're taking PT rather than IELTS. But why? And most of the time, right, students are taking PT, like Ali just now you mentioned, because my agency PT is easier, lor. So we want to go, you understand the theory behind it. Or else, right, normally it's very common that we've seen students trying PT 2-3 times. Maybe I want to give IELTS a try. Then they reverse, they go U-turn, and then it's a vicious cycle. So we have this session to help you to save your money, because don't repeat the stupid mistake like I did last time. I waste a lot of time on money in IELTS. And just give me a quick, give me some time, a quick explanation what's IELTS, what's PT. So they are both English proficiency tests that will test you across 4 sections: speaking, writing, reading, listening. Speaking, writing, reading, listening. And IELTS, it will be about 2 hours, 45 minutes. PT is very fast, 2 hours. So PT, all of your answers are being marked by the computer. No humans involved. And you done it in one sitting. So tomorrow we go for exam. I just need to book my exam 24 hours in advance. And then the next day I go for the PT exam. And then I get my result within 24 hours. Very, very fast. You pass very fast. You fail very fast as well. So I hope it's a formal one. When it comes to IELTS, your answers are being marked by 2 humans and 1 computer. So a quick test. Iris, for IELTS, which section is being marked by the examiner? Hi, Iris, can you please answer me this? You want to unmute yourself and answer me? When it comes to IELTS, if you don't know, you just say don't know. At least I get to know. So you have speaking, writing, reading, listening. So when it comes to IELTS, when it comes to PT, all of your answers being marked by the computer. But it's okay. When it comes to IELTS, right, your speaking is being marked by 1 examiner. Your writing is being marked by another examiner. Reading and listening being marked by the computer. So when it comes to IELTS, right, answers are being marked by 2 humans and 1 computer. In terms of pricing, IELTS is 835 ringgit. PT after discount, if you register via PT and Master PT, it will be 760 every time you book. So for example, if you fail 2-3 times, it will still be 760. But hopefully you can pass it in one go. Never repeat it. Sometimes it's not about the money, but it can be very demotivating and you start doubting yourself. Is my English that bad? No. Okay, so because IELTS humans are involved here, you get your result slightly slower. But when it comes to PT, right, you get a result very fast. Normally in the morning, you sit for your exam, you get a result on the same day. So now, just now we already briefed into the IELTS and PT. Now I want to brief you all when it comes to the scoring. So for IELTS, right, your scoring is to make your life easy, 1 to 9. That means the minimum score will be 1, a maximum score will be 9. When it comes to PT, just add a 0 behind. Minimum score will be 10, the maximum score will be 90. And for migration purposes, So the first step, if you are taking for PT exam, right, always know what's your target score. If you are the main applicant, so you should be looking at somewhere here. So I think today all of you are the main applicant, right? Ali, Aris, Thierry? If yes, please type number one, click a number one in the chat box so that I know, like I get to know some response from y'all. Okay. So yeah, thank you, Ali. You're the main applicant. How about Iris and Thierry? Okay, so for the main applicant, right? If you're looking at 65, right, you get 10 migration points. Do not confuse between migration points and PT points. So if you're looking at band 7 in IELTS, it's supposed to be 7 out of 9. This one, PT, is supposed to be 70 out of 90, isn't it? But the good news is you just need to score 65 out of 90 when it comes to PT. So band 8 is equivalent to 80 in PT, but you just need to score 79 out of 90. And if you're aiming for 7, when I say 7, that means speaking, writing, reading, listening, you get 10 migration points. Or if you get 465 in PT, you get 10 migration points. You get 48 in IELTS, you get 20 migration points. Or you get 479 in PT, you get 20 migration points. And which one is better? Of course, the higher the better, because you get 10 points versus 20 points, double the chance. So why not? Never settle for less. Never stop here, because nowadays migration can be the path, it can be very competitive. Try your best to aim higher to get the maximum point too. Since you already have paid, like most of you have paid 5 figures, more than 10,000 plus, at least in your PR application. Don't stop at this part. And are you guys aware about the original and updated score concordance report? Thierry, do you have any idea? Anyone have any idea? Thank you very much for answering. Yeah, so now I explain to y'all. So basically, right, this report is not issued by us. So this report is issued by PTE. Who is the exam provider for PTE? PTE stands for Pearson Test of English. So the exam provider is called Pearson. Pearson is the company. Okay, Pearson. So they come up with this called concordance report. So as I mentioned, I'm not sure whether you have watched my YouTube video. So I always tell our students, PT will only becoming harder and harder, and it will only becoming more expensive down the road. So this score report is being issued by Pearson, a British company. So when it comes to essay writing, please use British English, because always know what your big boss wanted. Your big boss is Pearson, it's not me. Your big boss is from UK, so give them British English. Right, so now when it comes to original and updated, right? So at first, this was the report, but then Pearson decided to make it harder. So now 47 supposed to be equivalent to 65, but now they increased to 66. Band 8 supposed to be 79, but now they increased to 84. So that's a huge jump. But the good news is DIBP. Who is DIBP? Department Immigration Border Protection. That means the Australian department. They decided to follow the old score guide, the old report first. So when are they going to change? Nobody knows. So it's just that maybe one day the IBP decided, hey, let's follow the updated score report. You never know. So the rules is, no matter what, end of the day, you are still required to take the PT exam. So try to take it before it's getting harder, before it's getting more expensive. Okay, for now, we're still using the original score report. So just now, we already made a comparison between IELTS and PT, right? Now, I want you to have a look at the score report. This is how the score report looks like. Normally, your face, you have a picture here, your name here, and also your details here. Okay, so you have an overall score, and in each of the section, listening, reading, speaking, writing. Okay, Ali from from your hometown. Okay, so yeah, so for migration purposes, you need to score at least 65 in each section, so including the overall score, to get 10 migration points, and at least 79 in each section to get 20 migration points. So I'll just give a quick scenario. Let's say everything is 90, but the speaking is 64. So what is the migration points from this score report, Iris? Do you want to type an answer in the chat box? What's that? What's the migration points? The correct answer will be 0 points. So even though everything is perfect, but you are required to score at least 65 in each section to get the 10 migration points. That's why this is the challenging part for PR applicant. And let's say if everything is over 79, but the scoring for writing is 76. My question to Ali, may I know what is the migration points now? Ali? Thank you very much. It'll be 10, even though you already scored 90 across everything. Because the challenging part is to get 79 across all section or 65 across all section. Okay. Yep. So yeah, this is how you look at your score report. Now I'm gonna go through the next slide. A quick case study, because I don't want you all to repeat my mistake during my old times. Okay, so this guy, you can see he is a Caucasian. He is a white. So he is a native English speaker, born and raised in English-speaking household in Australia. Graduated with a master degree with first class honor, very good result, in applied linguistics. Linguistic means language, from the University of Melbourne, a very reputable university. So now let's have a look at his result. So he sat for both IELTS and PTE. IELTS, PTE, PTE, boom, boom, boom. 90, truly reflective of his current English level. Okay, but now let's have a look at his IELTS result. 9 in terms of speaking, nice. 9 in terms of reading, 8.5 in the listening. Maybe he made a tiny mistake, but that's fine. And why is he scoring only 6.5 in his writing? Why? Do you have any idea why? Can I have Iris, please? Why? Or Thierry or Ali? Anyone? Any idea? Okay, now I'm gonna explain to y'all why. Remember earlier I mentioned, right? When it comes to PD, all your answers are being marked by computer, no human involved. When it comes to IELTS, right? There's one human examiner rate your performance, another examiner rate your writing assignment, and then this one being done by computer. So trust me, if you look like me, if you look like an Asian, you can't score 9 in your speaking. The maximum gets 8. You'll be scoring 9. But because just now this guy, Jay, he looks like a Caucasian. He is a Caucasian. So you can say, oh, okay, you grew up in Australia. You studied linguistics in University of Melbourne. Okay, I'll give you 9 points. But today if I go in, I grew up in Malaysia and I studied in University of Melbourne. But because I am not a Caucasian, no matter how British Council they argue that hey our examiners are neutral, humans tend to bias unconsciously. You don't even realize it. Okay, so that's why if you look like me, you probably can't be scoring band 9 in terms of speaking. But when it comes to writing, it's another story because when it comes to writing, right, examiner just look at the essay. They can't tell if you're a Chinese, Malay, Indian, or a Caucasian. So in this scenario, the examiner treat everyone the same. So you can see is scoring only 6.5 out of 9. Why is this happening? No, do you have any idea why is this happening? I know, thank you so much for joining. Y'all feel free to type your answer in that chat box or unmute yourself. So the main reason is because for writing, your scoring is being determined by the examiner. So maybe the examiner is Scottish. Scottish might not like the Aussie style of writing, and I'm pretty sure this guy, he has perfect English, perfect grammar. But it just happened that the examiner is not having a good mood. English is good, but I think my English is better. I just want to give you 6.5. That's why if you want to score well in IELTS, you need to be really lucky that the speaking examiner likes your answer and the writing examiner likes your answer. And also, do you realize what? The mistake tolerance in IELTS is very low. That means if you make one mistake, your score reduced by 0.5 points. One mistake is good enough to kill you. Okay, whereas when it comes to PT, right, even though you make mistake, that mistake tolerance is very high. So for those students who scored 90, 90, 90 in PT, right, I'm pretty sure they make like a few mistakes here and there, but it's okay because the exam is very forgiving. Okay, so again, Jay wasn't happy with his result because it's such a humiliation, getting 6.5. He's a professional English grammar teacher. So with money, you can do a lot of things. So you pay extra to hire an examiner to look at his result. So you can see his result increased from 6.5 to 7.5. Again, a quick questions to Terry. Based on his original IELTS result, what is his migration point now? What is his migration point? Please, if you know the answer, type your answer in the chat box. So it will be 0. Sorry, Terry, it will be 0. It's not 10 because you need to score at least 4 7. But thank you very much for trying. You need to get at least 4 7. But because this is below 7, then you get 0 points. So now, Terry want to try again. According to the PT result, what is his migration points now? 10, 20? I say this will be 20 because at least minimum 79 across all, you get 20. And Ali, what is the migration points following the new the result after the appellation? It'll be a 10 because yeah, so much trouble you can only get 10 migration points. But this one PT straight away get 20 points. So that's why we always have this session to stop our students from U-turning because a lot of students they try PT a few rounds, they cannot get a target score. They always have this pops out on their mind. Why don't I try IELTS? Then it's a vicious cycle. I've been in this industry for more than 7 years and studied in University of Melbourne for 3 years. I have never seen anyone in my life. No joke. I heard a lot of rumors. Hey, my friends got 4.8. Actually, to be honest, most of the time it's got 8 in terms of reading and listening, but not in the writing. The chance of you scoring maximum point in IELTS is near to 0. But for PT, it's very often you always see our students, including me, including students, even like last week, we have students scoring 490s. Not 490, 590, including the overall score. So I want to summarize this. So it's always easier to please a computer over human, especially women. Okay, this is just an inside joke. Okay, but true to a certain extent for all the guys out there. I don't know if you can understand this. Okay, now, I hope you all have a better understanding between IELTS and PT. So this lady, her name is Paige. You can see she started from IELTS 4.5 across all, and then she switched from IELTS to PT in a few months, just online session. She can go 75, 78. It's a huge jump. So you stand a higher chance to score when it comes to PT rather than IELTS. But unfortunately, when it comes to the format, right, to be honest, IELTS format is way much easier. But don't go back to IELTS. Okay, so now I hope you all are clear with the between IELTS and PT, right? Now I'm gonna show my screen with y'all. I'm gonna cover the PT format. Have you all seen the PT format before on your own or when you're doing your research choosing between IELTS and PT? A quick test. So for Noor, do you know how many task types are there in the PT exam? Never mind, I'll answer this question myself. I'm gonna share my screen with y'all. And yep. So when it comes to PT, there are 20 task types and they will test you in terms of speaking, writing, reading, and listening. So now I want to start with the first task type in the PT exam. In the PT exam, everything is automated. So for example, when come to this one, I want you to have a look at these questions. Look at the text below. In 35 seconds, you must read this text aloud as naturally and clearly as possible. You have 35 seconds to read aloud. So for this task type, it's very easy. It just read aloud. So everything is automated. For example, I want to show you all in the exam, I didn't click on anything. The timer will start counting down on its own. So you can see it start counting down 16, 15. And after you go to 0, the microphone opens on its own. And when the microphone opens, this is the time when you need to read. Let's just wait for it. 3, 2, 1. Then the microphone opens and this is the time where you need to deliver your answer. And unfortunately, in the real exam, you are not the only candidate to do this. It will be like a 5, 6 people in the room. Minimum 5 or 6. And for now, right, can I ask you all to do me a favor? I want everyone to unmute yourself because I want you all to imagine, to simulate the exam environment. Just unmute yourself and I'll start counting down from 3 seconds and we'll read these questions together. I want you all to feel how it's like in the exam, because a lot of students always think PTE is easy. Read a lot is easy, just reading. But when you try to do it, it's another story. Okay, Thierry, you wanna unmute yourself? And A, how about yeah, everyone unmute yourself and get ready. We're gonna read this question together. Ready, go.
Situation directly,
Introverts tend to
while
quickly and
introverts
try
tend
to
to give
influence
themselves
questions
time to
directly.
develop
What
their
introverts
insights
give
before
themselves,
exposing them to the
and
world.
then insights before
Extroverts are
exposing them to
happy
the
making
world.
decisions
Extroverts are
in
happy
the
making
thick of event, while
decisions.
introverts want to
Introverts
reflect
tend
before
to
taking action.
okay. So yeah. So I think just now it was just me and the audio, but in the exam, unfortunately, in the real exam, you have in Malaysia, you have at least 5 to 6 in a room. So imagine all of y'all doing read a lot at the same time. So that's why when you do self preparation, right, a lot of people when you do preparation at home, right, I think everything is good. But I went to the PD exam, I freak out, and then then yeah, then they fail the PT exam terribly. Like most of students, right, they speak good English because like PR application, skilled migration, yeah, engineers, accountant, da da da. But it comes to PT exam, come on, score only 50. How come on this and that? So it's not about English, but it's more like an exam prep and also know what kinds of, and then we are not teaching English, but more towards like giving the computer what it wants. So I'm pretty sure this is easy for y'all. But y'all, when y'all read the answer, right, you need to make sure how the computer sees you. The computer are looking at your sound wave. You want to make sure that any programmer here today, I think Ali, you're in the IT section, right?
Yeah, yep.
Yes. Okay, from programmer's point of view, so like so I think we can relate this better. So from programmer's point of view, so end of the day, PT, all our answers are being marked by computer. So your big boss is not me. Your big boss is Pearson. They have a certain wavelength that they want from y'all. So I always tell students, I'm not teaching English. Instead, I'm actually teaching singing class. So like you need to sing out the answer and hit the computer what it wants. For now, I'll just quickly go through the format first and then yeah, so normally you know format memorization. In the exam, you have the next button, you don't have the previous button. And everything is automated. Okay. And do you guys realize that what happened here? Recording stopped due to silence detected. So in the PD exam, unfortunately, the microphone opens and closes on its own. And if you remain silent for more than 3 seconds, the microphone close on its own. And once the microphone closed, there's no way for you to say, hey, wait, I still haven't delivered my answer yet. So this is just one of the task type. I'm going to move on to the next task type. And can I have any volunteer? I need someone to give me Ali, please. Okay, you want to try it. So whoever you try, then you wouldn't get shocked in exam. So the next question I'm going to play, I want you to throw me the answer. Okay, in the exam, this is how it looks like after you're done, and then the next question come up.
The elephant is the largest living land mammal.
3, 2, 1, go, Ali.
The elephant is the largest living mammal.
Very good. So in the PDF exam, it will just move on one after another, one after another, and one after another. And you don't have time to wait, let me get ready. It just pops out and very good, Ali. Well done. But I'll say there's still like in terms of answers, okay. But in terms of the singing part, so we always talk about we tune the singing part later on. But the first thing, come up with the answer first. Because without any answer, right, then you cannot do any tuning later on. So now, anyone want to give it a try the next questions? Just try it. You learn faster from this. Iris, you want to try the next question?
Okay, sure.
So in the PDF exam, you will just like start like one after another. You don't have time to. So for I, do you want to try like a 2 question in a row? Because I want you to feel it. So for the others, you can also like try it like without unmuting us. Okay. So for Iris, I'm gonna play the recording now. Just give me a second. In the exam, one after another. Okay. Get ready. And in the exam, it's a very noisy environment.
There are lots of opportunities to meet new people in this course.
3, 2, 1, go.
There are a lot of opportunities to meet new people in this school.
Okay. After you deliver the next question coming up.
The computer crashed and I hadn't saved my work.
2, 1, and then the computer start again. And then one after another, one after another. What's the answer, please?
My computer crashed and I saved the word.
Okay, and also do you realize that when you pause, right, the microphone close. And also now we're doing it in a very quiet, in our comfort zone. In the PD exam, that's why remember earlier I mentioned, right, during my first PD exam, I had the shock of my life. But that's why we always like our client will always our partners client, that means like our migration agents always like clients complain. That's why we organize this session so that you all know what to expect in the PD exam. So it's one after another in a very noisy environment. And then the next one, the exam you only have a one-way ticket. And now I just want to quickly brief you all in the PD exam when it comes to this question. Ali, I think this is like something you have covered before. And for those, right, normally the first point of preparation will be YouTube, will be this and that. And then realize that different YouTube channel, different things telling different things, different template. I can't be commenting much on other students' other third party template because I haven't really used them before, but I can be sure if your template is this one because we have seen a lot of students coming to us. On average, students come to us after 2-3 times attempt of failing. And if you are using this template online, I wanted to remind you all that would be a wrong direction. One of the very popular template students who fail when they come back to us. Postage, phone cards, meals, trainings, travel cards, uniform, other. And we can see this is a very informative picture. Ali, are you using this template?
I haven't gone through this part of the test yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I see some TikTok videos about some guys telling some template. But,
Yes.
yeah.
But it's okay. Never mind. So that's why we always see like there are a lot of different template. Again, as I mentioned, right, online there are a lot of resources. Some is relevant to you, some are not relevant. So that's why if you want to use resources online, right, you know how to filter. Or else, right, some template that actually because there are so many people taking PT, sometimes the template, right, you can see some improvement, but how come I take a PT 2-3 times I cannot reach 79? Because sometimes a template is designed for 30 people who aim for 30, people who aim for 50, people who aim for 65. But for migration purposes, please aim for full marks. Don't settle for less. Okay, now let's have a look. So this task type, you have to look at the picture. And for example, like whatever picture comes out, right? You can see hands up. The timer will start 25 seconds. I'll start counting down from 25 seconds. After 25 seconds, you then have the beep sound. And anyone want to give a try? A, do you want to give a try? Or no? Anyone? It's okay to make mistake here. Terry, ready? Okay, now mine. Anyone? Okay, so I want to remind this one. If you to try, it's okay. I want you to ask yourself, use your first language. For example, maybe Ali in your Tagalog or for Chinese or Malay or in Hindi, Tamil. Try using your first language. You then find that it's tough as well because PD is not an English exam. Trust me, it's a response test rather than an English exam. And also it's more like a computer exam. You need to hit what the computer wants. It's not like giving the answers that you think is correct. And a lot of students, some of our students, they are native speaker. They speak English throughout their life, but they screw up in the PT exam because sometimes it doesn't hit the computer's wavelength and you get stuck. So make sure you study smart, study in the right direction, pass in one go. Or else right, you start doubting, is my English that bad? In the PT exam, you get all kind of picture. And then get like all kind of picture. And then now I'm going to show you all the next task type. The next task type, it can be a retail lecture. So with this task type, you can see everything like, one after another happen very fast. So now I'm gonna play the recording and also in the exam, when you listen to the recording, right, it can be very noisy. For example, imagine now students doing the questions. So for read aloud, market research is a vital part of
It's recorded at
any
security nets
and we can see that
here.
also. And then this is
Carriage
also look
here.
at the graph below in
It's so damn
25
much.
seconds. Please get into the mic. You can see how noisy it can be. There's only two of us now. Like it's one from the recording and one's from me. In the exam, you need to really clear your mind, like get ready for what to experience in the exam. Right? And then the recording play, and then the background.
Coming out of the 19th century with all that happened, and so quickly, some of these ideas, some of these theories, like thermodynamics and kinetic theory, they didn't blend the way they should have. Thermodynamics has its roots in matter, how material things respond to heat and temperature and so forth. The laws of thermodynamics were thought to be absolute. Now take kinetic theory. If matter consists of atoms in random motion, and that's what matter is, then you open up the possibility that there will be fluctuations in samples of matter such that the laws of thermodynamics can momentarily be violated. Are the laws of thermodynamics valid? Absolute? Are they obeyed statistically? On average, they're obeyed, but they can be violated during unusual times, all right?
And after listen to, you start counting down from 10 seconds, whether you're ready or not. You start counting down from 10 seconds, and then, sorry? After 10 seconds,
The next
and then the microphone opens, and this is the time where you deliver. And imagine if this recording is in Tagalog, Hindi, whatever. You can't be like concentrating. Oh, in 10 seconds, what's this? You have to reach out. That's why PT. And also some more in a very noisy environment. For no, in the exam, this is exactly the same headset that they provide in the exam. You don't need to bring it. So, but like our students, you can always come in our office because PT is very subject to the environment. So we highly recommend our students to come in our office to try out to simulate the exam environment, because you probably want to make mistake during your practice rather than in the real exam, because in the real exam it costs 800 ringgit, and also other than that, it's not just about money, and it's about the time you have to apply for leave just to attend the exam, and it can be very demotivating. It's more like the stress that you encounter in the exam. So in this scenario, you hear lecture, and then after 10 seconds you have to read help, and in the very noisy environment. And also, do you guys realize that what that topic is about? That's about, and also the recording, most of the time, it'll be a very thick accent. Thermodynamic. What's a thermodynamic? A thermodynamic, it's not a common, because PT is an academic exam. It will test you in terms of very academic terms. What is a fall break? Iris, what's a fall break? Do you guys have any idea what's a fall break? Any idea? Fall break, in other words, means autumn break, because during the autumn, the leaves are falling. So these are the terms that dissertation, rather than assignment, dissertation, stipend, all these are called. That's why sorry, what were you trying to say? Sorry, I cannot hear you. Or you want to type your answer in the chat box? Do you want to type your question in the chat box? But thank you very much for asking me your questions. Okay, so now I'm gonna move on to the next question, and I'll just give you a little bit. So the next task type, the last task type, it's a very interesting task type. It will be it's called answer track questions, where you listen to a questions, you answer it. Okay, and we will follow one again.
What is the term for the money people pay to the government to support public services?
3, 2, 1, Ali, go. 3, 2, 1. Too late. The microphone closed on its own. So after the microphone open, 3, 2, 1, you need to answer. So again, the question sometimes is stupid. The correct answer is tax. What is the money that people pay to the government? So the correct answer will be tax, but you need to throw out the answer before the microphone closes.
Okay.
But very good. I'm sorry to give you a heart attack here, but in the exam, that is how it feels. So for A, have you taken PT exam before? Sorry, your microphone is a little bit blurry, but like you can type your questions if you have any questions. And also, I wanted to ask you, give a little bit of tips when it comes to answer short questions. Sometimes they ask you a stupid question. Who would you consult if you do have a fear of crowded places? A philosopher or a psychologist? Thierry, how would you attempt this question? What's the correct answer, Thierry?
Maybe I will answer the two answer.
Yes, thank you very much. Because if you, let's say the correct answer is philosopher and psychologist, but you don't know what's the correct answer. And from programmer's point of view, what's the programmer's point of view? It's a binary code. Have you guys heard about binary code? Binary code, it's like a 1, 0 is computer. So again, the computer program the correct answer. If these students mention the word psychologist, give 1 point. But for now, I don't know what's the correct answer being programmed in the computer. Is it the psychologist or philosopher? Then I mentioned both. I'll definitely hit my jackpot, isn't it? So I just mentioned philosopher, psychologist. Then I can get a point. All good? So when it comes to PT, you always want to play smart. Sometimes, I'm sorry, like studying hard will not bring you to your target score. But play smart will do. Well, of course, like put in a little bit of effort, but you need to practice in the right direction. You prepare in the wrong direction, right? And also, sometimes PT exam, it can be a bit tricky. We always see students, for example, if my target score is 65, you always get a result something like this: 63, 68, 64, 61. So if this is your result and your target score will be 65, will you go in the exam again? If this is my score, I will go in again. I'll go again. Then I get 67, 62, 66, 65. I get this again. Okay, I'll go in again. So if you have encountered this scenario, right, more than 2 times, right, or maybe the second attempt is lower than the first attempt, right, nowhere to stop. Because sometimes it's part of like the trick. It's like gambling feeling like, hey, very close, I want to go again. But if you have tried like 2 times, 3 times, it's not ever reach your target score, right? You should just stop there and identify your problem, because sometimes you might practice in the wrong direction. And trust me, there's only one computer system. And if you didn't change your answer, right, you go in the exam, you get very, very consistent result. Like unlike IELTS, right, if you go in the exam, sometimes I get 7, sometimes I get 8, because it depending on which examiners that marking your answer. When it comes to PT, there's only one computer system. So if you didn't change your answer, you go in the exam 5 times, your result gonna be very similar. Sorry?
Buy the 1-day ticket. 1-day ticket. How much?
Okay, never mind. I think yeah. If any questions, you can let me know. Okay, now I just want to go through in the PD exam. You then followed by essay, and then you have given like an essay. But today today because of time limitation, I'm gonna cover with y'all one task type when it comes to the reading, because reading one of the task type that I just show you how it looks like in the PD exam. In the PD exam, in total, you will have 4 sections, which is speaking, writing, reading, listening. You always have 4 sections. So just now we already covered speaking. Speaking is one of the toughest one, the scariest one. And then you're followed by writing, reading, and listening. And when it comes to PT, right, the number of questions is not fixed. It's not like every time you have 40 questions, depending on your luck. So for now, just give me a session. Just give me I just want to show you all. I'm not sure whether you guys are aware about a new task type coming up in the PD exam. Have you all heard about the new task type? Yes, no, maybe just let me know. And I'm pretty sure you all have heard a lot like rumors that Pearson, they're going to implement a new task type. The exam is going to be tough. Is it true or false? But now I'm going to play the record. I'm going to play a recording. I want you to... thank you very much, No, for answering. I'll just let you all know about this one. So even just now earlier, the question just looks a little bit scary, but you'll be getting more scarier down like soon. But nobody knows when, but it's just a matter of time. I want you to have a look at this.
Hello, is PT academic exam becoming harder? Unfortunately, the answer is yes.
The PT exam will only be coming harder and more expensive down the road, and it will never go the opposite way. Anyway, this is Kelly from Master PT. Today, I'm going to talk about the new trial questions in the speaking section. According to Pearson, if you are taking the PT Academic or PT Academic UKVI between 11th of December 2023 to 31st of January 2024, you will get 1 or 2 new task types in the speaking section. But don't worry, for now it's still in its testing stage, so your answer will not be scored. However, your response will contribute to Pearson research. So now let's talk about the 2 new task types. So the first task type is called Respond to a Situation. In this task type, you listen to and read a prompt describing an everyday situation in an academic setting. You have 10 seconds to prepare, and after 10 seconds, the microphone will switch on its own and you have 40 seconds to respond to the situation. Second task type is called Summarize a Group Discussion. For this task type, you listen to a recording. This recording is about students having a discussion. After listening to the recording, you have 10 seconds to prepare, 2 minutes to deliver your answer. During these 2 minutes, you need to come up with a summary of the discussion. As mentioned, the PT Academy exam will only be coming harder and harder down the road. So try to speed up your progress. And if you want to register for the PT exam, you can register via Master PT to get a 10% discount. And okay, so I want you to have a look at this. So basically, right, this is the new task type that they are going to implement, and you can see it was implemented last year, December, 11th of December. And it was mentioned that it will only roll out until 31st of January, but up to today is 27th of August. They are still running the trial questions. So I'd say you can look at the Pearson trends. It's kind of easy to anticipate what's going to happen next. So it has been like at least 6 months, at least 9 months. I think 9 months already passed. So I am pretty sure like they already gather sufficient, almost enough material research, and they're going to implement the new task type in the real exam. It's just a matter of time. So again, if you are planning to take the PT exam, try to speed up your progress, because once they implement the new task type, right, it'll be way much harder in the exam. Okay, but don't ask me when are they going to implement. I cannot tell. I don't know. Nobody knows, but you can look at the trend even like since December until now, right? They are still implementing. That means they do have the intention to roll out the new task type. Most likely, I think it'll be in this year then. Okay, so and also I wanted to let you have a look. And in PT exam, it's not about English, because like it's more like a PT academic exam. Because again, why it's important? Why training is important for PT exam? Because we don't teach English, more on like a shortcut that to hit what the computer wants and pass in one go. Most of the students are professionals. I think you're accountant, engineers, and on average, don't come to us after like trying PT IELTS. I think today at least you save half of the budget. Like don't go for IELTS. Never you turn to IELTS. And if you fail the PT exam 2 times, 3 times, you know when to stop, because if you roll it out up to 5 times, it will be like thousands. And also not about money, it's a time, effort. It's included the PT exam is not a very user-friendly exam. It's a combination of English, response, academic knowledge, tips and techniques. So again, as I mentioned, after look at the questions, start the microphone straight away. And also a knowledge booster. In exam, you get all kind of questions. You guys know anyone want to try reading out this number? Thierry, can you please read this number? What's your first language, Thierry?
Chinese, Mandarin.
Yeah, can you please use Mandarin to read this number for me? 3, 2, 1, go. Mandarin your first language, right? 这个是什么？
个十百千万十万百万千1个 billion 啊。
Okay, yeah, this is 1 billion. So again, that's what I mentioned, right? PT is not about English test. So you try using like Tagalog. Ali, how do you read this number in Tagalog?
We use English. You don't have a billion in Tagalog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
How
it's
do you
1,842,943,905.
Thank you very much. And do you realize that when it comes to PT, right? Again, I mentioned always like been teaching singing rather than English. If you read something like that, right, in the PT exam, it'll be very hard to get. We might get something like 17, but like you can't go up to 79 or 90, because 1,949,945. So this is not the wavelength that the computer wants. But it's okay, very good. And also very good that you all tried. And also in the exam, you need 1,842,943,905. And what we do, right? We prep you so that you know what happened in the exam. And also, this is one of question from the described image. Can I have anyone? No? Can I know what's this continent? What's this island? Please. 3, 2, 1.
Sri Lanka.
Thank you very much for trying. Unfortunately, this one is Madagascar. So because as a
Africa,
programmer,
Madagascar. Okay.
yes, Africa. Right, so because as a programmer, the magic word will be Africa, Madagascar. So basically what we do here, right, it's more like a shortcut for you. Of course, self-practice can bring you target score. So what we do, rather than you compile practice material here and there, right, we prep you, feed you information, you go in an exam, pass it in one go. Never book for your exam until you're ready. Or no, sorry, you're just donating money to Pearson. Oh, I tried, try my luck, I didn't get. I come back again and try again. So you do like 5 times to be about 5,000 ringgit. So don't waste that money. Okay. Yeah, again, as I mentioned, what we do, we go on shortcuts. Somehow, right? Actually, it will save your time, save your life, save your stress. Because if you were to do it on your own, right, it can be like it can feel a bit lost. Where should I start from? And then it might take like try a few rounds to reach your target score. So what we do, it tell you what the computer wants, prep well, simulate the exam environment, everything all good, get in one go. Ta-da. Again, like just to let y'all know, because I think most of y'all are doing this for migration purposes, what's the difference of submitting your EOI now versus 3 months, 4 months later? So how they give out invitation or PR application, right, is based on first come, first serve basis. So if you drag, don't drag, because at the end of the day, you still need to take the PTE exam. We have seen a lot of students, after they wait for their SQS and Kelly, my age is catching up, I need to do my PTE exam now. Don't drag. And also, you can check out our students from our YouTube channel. She did it 15 times just to aim for 15 times before she came to us. So know when to cut your losses, because if you do it too, yeah. So, and also as I mentioned, right, scoring PT full marks, right, it's very doable. So you get like full marks. But before this, right, this was 2023. Before this, they were preparing for years, 2016, 2019. So if you're preparing English proficiency test for more than 3 years, right, most likely you are in the wrong direction, because it should be something very fast. And also sometimes, right, you did the second time. The second time was worse than the first time. Why? Because normally students experiment out in the real exam, in the whatever techniques you go online. Oh, maybe they say this, I try it in the exam. Oh, the second time was worse. So you don't want to experiment in the real exam, because it's very expensive and also it's very time consuming. So if you tried PT more than 3 times, 4 times, so we want to help our mission, help you to go shortcut, pass exam, least attempt, and in the shortest time, because you definitely enhance your chance of passing exam. And I'm sorry, we're not so much on English, but of course we will cover whatever that needed for English test. Just give me a second. Yeah, and also we also add everyone in our WhatsApp group for our students. So just give me a second. So for now, right, I'll just explain to y'all like how our session like, and also we will just give me a second. I'm gonna end the session soon. Okay, so I just explained to you all like what is a lecture feels like. So basically, right, lecture classes, right, it's like we feed you with all the information. So every day, 10 to 10:40 is a lecture classes. And then you can ask questions like, let's say it's very flexible. It's like gym membership. I cannot today, I'm very tired. I don't want to join this session. Then you can join the next session. It doesn't matter. But group study session, let's say in the lecture class, I have questions I'm too shy to ask. You can have asked us during the group study session. Or like group study session, or you're too shy to ask, you ask us during the 30 minutes one-to-one. Or you just have a quick question, you just ask us during the WhatsApp support and homework checking. We are here to support you all. Whenever you have a questions, we are here to clear it off. because we're in this together. We have no intention to make you fail the exam, because you fail the exam, and then you come back to us as well. So we want to, because we are the only training center come with a score guarantee. You fail the exam, you come back to us. So no point. So that's why yeah, so this is what we are doing. And also we also add everyone in the WhatsApp group. And also I'm not sure whether you guys aware about this. Yeah, just we'll add everyone in the WhatsApp group. And also I know like to prep for PT, it can be a bit lonely journey, because you can't be telling your manager or your bosses that, hey, I plan to leave your country. No, you can't. So normally we will also like share out whatever our students did, like Calvin made it to us, so also have like a story. Also like I'm not sure you're aware about this news that you can't, yeah, we'll always put out news. And also like whoever passed the PT exam, let's say as I mentioned 1999 on the first attempt, it's very doable. And also these are the tips, and also like to create a community. And this one Lockhart scoring 19 in PT, and most of the time you pass it in one go. And we put up like whatever news, and this is our office simulation lab. So we want you to come in, simulate, because PT is very subject to environment. We do what we can to pass in one go. And most of the time, yeah, Hannah, before she came to us, right, 2 weeks ago, like she can't even score 465. Then after training, she get 479. So she was just aiming for 65, which is 10 points. Then like, so with the right tips, right, in a short period of time, you can see your points from not even 465 jump straight to 479. But you need to know what the computer wants. Give the computer what it wants, rather than, I think English, I've been speaking English, and this one, I think this is a good English. Because somehow, right, your definition of good English is different from the computer's points of view. Okay. So I think for now, right, yeah, I'm gonna end the session soon for now. And also, if you want to try the PT on your own, it's good. Like you can also like register via us, and then go in the exam, you try out. Let's say the first attempt you didn't get a good marks. Then the second attempt you still haven't reached your target score. Then know where to stop. Or let's say you have the, yeah, if you're really like busy, you don't want to explore here and there, then you can also consider like joining our program. The ultimate program is just now that what I mentioned. It's a comprehensive program that come with lecture class, one-to-one, whatever support, whatever your question you have, you clear off all your questions, all good, pass the exam in one go. So whichever you prefer, like you can always come back to us to get a support. Whether you want to book the exam or you want to sign up for the program, then you can also let us know. And any questions for now? And this is exactly the same headset that they use in the real exam. So this is the headset. So yeah, as mentioned in the exam, it's a very noisy environment. If no questions, I'm probably gonna end the session for now. And then yeah, I wish you all the best for your PT exam, and thank you so much for joining today.
Kelly,
Yes, Iris?
may I know if just say like the first attempt we took, we got that marks, and then second attempt we took, but then the first attempt is, the marks is actually better. Are we able to use back the first?
You can do that, but most of the time, right, it would be like the result would be more or less the same, because all the answers being marked by the computer. But it's okay, like you can try, but like there's a limitation. This is a new rules from Pearson. You can only take up to 10 times in a year. It's just recently rolled out last month. You can only take up to 10 attempts in a year. That means 1 month. So sometimes, right, from, as I mentioned, from student points, very close to 79. You always like short of few points, and it's very common that you online research, right, students do like 4-5 times. It's very common, like sometimes it's 10 over 10 times. So Pearson now they make it harder. The limit, you can only take 10 times. You've already exceeded 10 times in a year, right? What you need to do, you need to wait for next year. So you need to wait, you need for next year, right? Actually, you are losing out a lot of chances to get your invitation, because EOI, they give out invitation for the PR application, right? It's more like based on first come, first serve. So if you pass your PT today versus you pass your PT 1 year later, you can see you are losing your chance by a lot. Okay? So try a
Sorry. How long is the recommended training? Say, because I just booked for September 21st test. So would it be an ample time for me to say I'd attend everyday classes? Would it be
Okay.
sufficient? Because I don't know how long should
No,
be the
no.
recommended one.
Yeah, so normally, right, we always advise, like, once our students get on board, right, and we have the one-to-one session, during one-to-one, we explain to you what's your current situation. And also, right, we always recommend our students, okay, Kelly, maybe you should delay your exam. Maybe Kelly, you should make it earlier. So depending on your progress. So what we do, right, we act as a control. We see, like, let's say because we are in this industry for some time, so we roughly know, these students, you have a good chance, like based on like assessment and everything. Then we there's no way that we sugarcoat you. We can't sugarcoat you because we have to be honest. Because if you go in an exam, you fail, you come back to us. So let's say, maybe Kelly, you want to delay your exam. Then we advise you. So for PT exam, right, you can reschedule up to at least, like, you need to reschedule at least 2 weeks in advance. So you mentioned your exam is like 21st of September. Of course, we always advise our students, if you can move on faster, and thank you, no. If you move on faster, right, we can move on faster. But we are more on result orientation rather than like, you need to attend 30 hours, 50 hours to reach the point. Because we're always here to clear off your questions. Whenever you have questions, you ask us. Whatever question you clear off, then you go in the exam, you pass in one go.
Okay.
But if I'm
Thank you.
not ready, then we're always like, we have to be honest that maybe you need to focus on improve on your writing first, improve on this one before you go in exam. So normally we tell you what we see. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining, and I wish you all the best for the PT exam. And you want to book an exam and can just let us know. And yeah,
Wait,
happy.
Kelly, one more question.
Yeah.
When do we actually need to book our exam?
Normally for our students, we always advise most of the students, they book for the exam when your agent tell you, hey Kelly, I need your result to submit your EOI. Then candidates book for your exam without really getting well prepared. So after you book for exam but you're not well prepared, then you go in the exam, then actually you're just wasting 1,800 Malaysia, 800 in Singapore, 1,000 plus ringgit. So normally we always advise you, after you attend training, even like after training, then you roughly know, at least the first step, you know, this is the kind of answer that the computer wants. Okay, then you roughly know where you are. And also you yourself, you know how to assess yourself. And also, even if you don't know, we are here to ask questions. Rather than you go in the exam, how come this trick from YouTube doesn't work? How come that trick? And then you try. Ayah, let's seek for help. Then by the time you're actually using up a lot of time and money. But it's up to you which one you prefer. But like sometimes students wanted to give it a try first. You also like, don't drag. If I really want to give it a try, I book you try it first. Then you know where you are. Okay, I already tried on my own. I cannot reach my targets. Then you come back. So really depending on what you want. But the point is don't drag. Don't drag for the PT exam because it's just a matter of time that they're gonna implement the new task type. It has been there for 9 months. I think most likely. That's why if you look at Pearson, there are changes. You can see that they're actually implementing changes. So try to pass it before that. And I'll say ideally for working adult, because most of you are working adult with busy schedule and with kids, it will be about working adults roughly like, if you're doing it very fast, 2 to 3 weeks. But I think because we're in Asian country, like very busy schedule, so you give yourself like 1 month, 2 months. I say 1 month is just good. It's good. You're doing in 1 month is very good. Hannah surprised us. In 2 weeks, get it. There's also yesterday one student's Amrit. She cannot score 465. I just say, should he get 465? Now she's almost very close to 79. So sometimes it's not very time consuming, but you need to prep in the right direction. Give the computer what it wants. We're not talking about English, but more on like the computer language. Okay? Yeah. I think I'm gonna end the session now.
Thank
For
you.
another class
Thank
coming.
you.
And thank you very much. Thank you, Aris. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Ali. And yeah, wish you all the best for the PT exam.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Aris. Thank you, Terry.
Okay.